get it going, man. We sitting down with Kevin Douglas, former PSA Yale star, former St. Francis Terrier, former pro, former school dean, well-rounded person on and off the court. Kev, man, thanks for sitting down with us, man.
For sure,
How's everything been going with you, boss?
I'm not gonna lie to you, my brother, everything been going great. I can't complain. The only complaints I do have in life is understanding what retirement is. You know, no one never ever spoke to me about retirement. They always spoke to me about getting ahead, making sure you accomplish what you need to accomplish. So I did all of those things. So right now I'm just enjoying retirement. You know, sitting down, I'm just enjoying retirement. So that's where I'm at with it, my
When you
brother.
say retirement, what you mean? You mean like retirement from the hassle of the game, or what you mean?
When I say retirement, like, I'm not chasing the game no more. I'm not chasing letting guys know who Kevin Douglas is. Letting coaches, letting agents know who Kevin Douglas is. I did that for a vast majority of my life. And where I'm at with the game is, right now, I feel like there's only two people I want to play with. That's young boy Mally, and it's young boy Juju. Outside of that, you know, like, I'm good with the game of basketball.
I'm
great.
that, man. We gonna get back into all of that later on in the interview. I want to start off with where were you born and raised?
I was born in Mount Sinai Hospital. I was one of first Jamaican family. Like, my moms and my parents came up here to have kids, you know, so they been here for some time. They got together. They grew up on 141st between Lenox and 7th. To this day, my aunt that brought the entire family to America, both sides, she has a shop across the street from McDonald's. You know, it has transitioned over the years, but her shop is called Magic Fingers, and it's still standing there right there on 141st on 7th Ave between 140th and 141st.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Magic Fingers. So you grew. You said 141st and Lenox.
Yeah, between Lenox and 7th.
So you was raised in Harlem.
For sure.
Okay. When did you migrate to the Bronx?
I migrated to the Bronx my early kindergarten years, so I would say I was about 6 years old when I migrated. 5 years old, 6 years old when I migrated. I just started PS53 when I migrated to the Bronx. My family wanted to separate it from what was going on, the Jamaican lifestyle, who we were, what my dad was, the lifestyle that he lived. My mom wanted a better outlet for her kids, so she moved to the Bronx about 97, 96, and I started elementary 98.
Got you. How were you brought up, and what kind of household? What kind of household were you brought up in? A 2-parent household, single-parent household? Like, how was your upbringing most of your life?
So that's a tough question to answer. In my head, I was brought up in a 2-parent household. In my head.
Why you say that?
I say that because my dad was always there. He wasn't physically there, but if I picked up a phone call, my mom's called, you know, need be, like, he cemented what was right, what was wrong. So he wasn't too far gone, but he wasn't physically there. With that understanding, you know, versus my brothers and sisters, because I'm the first male, you know, one of 6. I do have an older sister and younger siblings. With that understanding, to me, I had 2 parents, because my mom was always there. I understood what my dad's lifestyle was. I understood what he was doing. And, you know, so for me, I can't really say it wasn't a 2-parent home, even though he physically wasn't there. He was there for me. Like, he mentally checked in. He called where he need be. There was a lot of broken promises, but he was He was there. He was there. Officially, he was there.
I got you. What was your first sport?
So not too many people know my first sport was football. I was in Marcus Garvey Park. That's on I think that if I'm not mistaken, that's on 121st between 5th Ave at Madison. I went to go play with my godbrothers, and we went to the turf. We was playing. And, you know, I was taller than everybody. We was all the same age, 13 years old. And I remember I caught a pass, thinking I'm a wide receiver. I'm not gonna say I had any wide receivers, you know, that was my favorites I wanted to be like at the time. I just remember, boy, it was the quarterback. I caught the pass, and I got tackled. I hit the ground. I said, I'm not doing this. Never again. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I stood on the ground, my hands like this, for all of about 34 seconds. I counted 34 seconds. My god brother came over me and asked me, "Are you good, Kev? You good? You good? You good?" To where he started speaking in our language, and we Jamaican, so he started speaking, "Hey brother, why go on? Get up, no man." And I'm like, finally had to, and then from there on, it was basketball, and I never looked back.
Up the game of basketball till around 13 years old.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That happened in the summertime. I read a letter. My older sister read a letter to the family that my dad was going to get deported and he was going to waive his rights to go back to Jamaica. And as I sat around, you know, after that match, you know, everything was all cool, copacetic, you know, and I won't say that was what changed my mind, you know, but like you asked, that was my first sport. I wanted to play football. And as he read that letter, as my older sister read the letter to the rest of the siblings, I sat back and I realized, like, if I do what my dad do, I won't be able to waive my rights. I won't be able to have a freedom in another country, understanding I do have a family elsewhere. So I just locked in.
Basically, you want to take advantage of what it is that your own relatives haven't been able to take advantage of.
For sure. Like, that right there, I processed and I locked in. I said, damn, if I do that, I won't be able to do this. So, I'ma just do this.
What would you say was the main reason that you got into the game of basketball? Was it for what you just stated? I wanna avoid some of the loopholes that's people that I know have already went through, and this is my way of avoiding that. Or was it just straight up, I'm intrigued by the sport itself? What was the reason you picked it up?
I'm gonna look in the camera, I'm gonna say Jamel Mingo, Musa Kone, Joshua Brito, Joseph Garcia. Those 4 guys made me, Kevin Douglas, feel a part of a 5. And that's why I picked up the game of the basketball.
Got you. So all these guys that you named, they all went to middle school with you as well?
These are my brothers. I didn't know they would be my brothers to this day now. I can call for various reasons, no matter what it is. And we're all older, pushing 30. But they've been my brothers since 2004. You know, so they the reason why I picked
20 years in.
Right, they the reason why I picked up the game of basketball and say, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, like I told you guys, you know, football was my first sport. I thought I could be a good wide receiver. I thought I was fast. I was taller than the normal kids until I got hit. I said, nah, I'm not trying to do all of that. You know, so my brothers that I just stated is the reason why I shifted to this sport and find let me look in the camera and say a genuine love outside of family. I found a genuine love for something.
All right.